You spend 21 years chasing one thing. 21 years. For championship losses in the final race of the season. And this year, finally, you're not just in it, you're dominating it. 4 wins. A finish average nobody has touched since 1977. A 68-point lead that nobody else in the field can answer. And then someone hands you a piece of paper. And the thing you were about to win doesn't exist anymore. That's exactly what happened to Denny Hamlin on July 19, 2026, at North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Before we get into the fallout, let's rewind to the race itself, because what happened on the track is just as important as what happened after it. North Wilkesboro hosted its first points-paying Cup Series race since 1996, 30 years gone, and 450 laps on the line. Before we go further, if you're new here, this channel is NASCAR Racing World, and we're closing in on our first 500 subscribers. If you want more breakdowns like this one, hitting subscribe, dropping a like, and leaving a comment genuinely helps this channel grow, and your support matters more than you'd think in bringing this kind of content to you every week. Now, back to the race. Joey Logano led 323 of the 450 laps, snapping a winless streak that stretched back to May 2025. Behind him was Hamlin, boxed in behind slower traffic, losing 4 seconds not to speed, but to circumstance, track position, plain and simple. Logano explained the gap himself. The run before, he fell about 4 seconds behind us. But that was only because he didn't have the track position to start the run. That set up a restart for the ages, 2 of the sport's biggest names, side by side on the front row, with the simple truth that whoever grabbed the lead first was going to win the race. Hamlin's crew chief, Chris Gaggart, rolled the dice with a short pit strategy, and for a moment, it looked like it might actually work. Hamlin later admitted just how close it was. If he had stayed out one more lap, we would have jumped ahead of him. It didn't happen. Logano held on. And what followed was almost more notable than the finish itself, a quiet handshake on pit road between 2 drivers with a well-documented history of clashes, including incidents at Bristol in 2013 and Martinsville in 2019. For a moment, it looked like a clean, respectful end to a hard-fought race. Then came the number that changed everything. That second-place finish gave Hamlin a 68-point championship lead. Under the sport's previous format, that lead should have made him a regular season champion. Except NASCAR has eliminated the regular season championship entirely. No trophy. No title. No formal recognition of the accomplishment. Here's the number that matters most, that 68-point lead today becomes a 25-point lead the moment the playoffs begin. In a single format decision, more than 40 points of cushion simply disappears. That's when Hamlin stopped holding back. On his podcast, Actions Detrimental, he said it plainly, they don't want me to be a champion. His co-host, Jared Allen, backed him up without hesitation. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Hamlin followed that with the line that's now circulating across NASCAR media, it's incredible. The one time you win the regular season, they get rid of it. The frustration makes sense when you look at the numbers behind it. Hamlin posted 4 wins this season and a 3.64 average finish on non-drafting ovals, a mark matched only by Richard Petty in 1977. This is Hamlin's 21st full-time season in the Cup Series. He still doesn't have a championship. And he's hinted that 2027 could be his last real shot at one. NASCAR's response came from Mike Ford, the managing director of racing communications, speaking on the Hauler Talk podcast. Ford laid out the league's position directly. I don't think we care what anyone calls it, really. I think we're not going to call it a regular season champion. We're not going to call it the playoffs. The origin of the idea traces back further than this controversy. According to Ford, the push to eliminate the word playoffs came from NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin during the very first playoff committee meeting back in 2025. Martin's reasoning was simple: get rid of the term entirely, because, in his words, the sport doesn't play racing, it races. The irony is hard to miss. A change designed to make the sport feel more authentic is the exact change that erased the one accomplishment Hamlin was about to lock in. The format change itself goes beyond just terminology. There's no more playoff points bank. No more elimination rounds. Instead, the sport is returning to something resembling the old 10-race chase format, last used back in 2013. That shift has split the fan base down the middle. On one side, There's real sympathy for Hamlin's position. He built a 26-race body of work across the season, and the new format strips away the reward for that consistency right as he's the driver benefiting most from it. On the other side, there's the argument NASCAR itself has leaned on. The old points bank system was criticized for years as confusing and unpredictable, almost lottery-like, and the new chase-style format is designed to make the final 10 races carry more weight, not less. Both arguments have real support inside the sport, and neither side has backed down. There's a second layer to this story that's just as unresolved: the future of North Wilkesboro itself as a points-paying track. Asked directly whether the track should keep hosting Cup Series races going forward, Hamlin didn't fully commit either way. "I don't know. I mean, I'm for a race at North Wilkesboro. How about that? That's where I'll stand on it." Hamlin has drawn a comparison to Bristol Motor Speedway in the past, a track where multi-groove racing was something drivers genuinely enjoyed, until NASCAR ground it down anyway because fan feedback pushed against it. The comparison plants an uncomfortable idea. This wouldn't be the first time NASCAR has altered something drivers were succeeding on, once outside pressure built up around it. So here's where things stand right now. Hamlin is in the middle of the best season of his 21-year career. The accomplishment that would have made him a regular season champion for the first time, gone by rule change. There are 5 races left before the new format kicks in and strips his cushion down from 68 points to 25. He's in his 21st season with no championship yet, and he's already suggested there might only be 1 or 2 more chances left. The only question nobody can answer yet is whether the best season of Denny Hamlin's career is about to become the most painful one. If this kind of deep dive NASCAR breakdown is something you want more of, make sure you're subscribed to NASCAR Racing World so you don't miss the next one. And if you enjoyed this one, drop a comment with your take on the format change and share it with another NASCAR fan who'd want to weigh in. If you enjoy real NASCAR breakdowns like this, you'll like what's coming next.